What's up, guys? This is Corey with the Dirty Data Jam, and we are back with another episode review today. Today we're going to be looking at Dragon Ball Super Episode 98, Oh Uncertainty, A Universe Despairs. So basically, we're knee-deep into the Tournament of Power, the World Tournament, whatever you want to call it, Universal Tournament, which just started in the previous episode, episode 97, so now we're kind of really getting in the heat of it. We finally have been able to see a couple characters get erased or removed and everything like that. We've seen that they just kind of plop down next to God of Destruction and their Supreme Kai and their Angel and all that good stuff. So in this episode, as we saw, people are kind of gunning for Goku. Obviously, he's kind of the one that, in most of people's mind, is the one that set these whole events off. Obviously, they're unaware that, for the most part, Zeno had kind of insinuated that it was going to be happening anyway, that the universe is going to be destroyed, but now it's just kind of a tournament to determine which ones specifically might survive. So it was going to happen anyway. Everyone's not necessarily privy to that. We are, obviously, but it still kind of makes Goku kind of out to be this super antagonist. He's responsible for getting millions of billions and billions of people just erased, destroyed, whole universe is destroyed, and all that good stuff. So that's a really interesting dynamic that we're kind of had since the beginning of this tournament arc. But as obviously as we're seeing, everyone's really gunning for Goku. We've got the other gods of destruction, particularly Champa, sitting up on the bench, rooting for other universes, not his own, to make sure that they eliminate Universe 7, which is a really fun and weird and kind of interesting dynamic because obviously we know Beerus, our universe's god of destruction, and Champa are brothers. So it's kind of weird seeing his brother root for his universe to be destroyed, which would inevitably lead to Beerus being destroyed. But obviously we've known they've had a very antagonistic relationship back since we've had the tournament, which is them, which is kind of the stepping stone for all of this as it is right now. So anyway, as we kind of progress through the episode, it's really a Goku-centric episode. There's a little bit of Frieza, Vegeta, and that's really it. We don't really see a lot of Team Universe 7 really do a whole bunch. But so as we saw last week, Goku almost gets eliminated, knocked off the thing, but he goes blue and kind of gets up and kind of keeps going on his way. And then at the end of that episode, we kind of see that he gets surrounded by Universe 9, the trio to Dangers, and all that kind of stuff, and then all their other classic Universal Monster-inspired characters come from. But so kind of continuing off of that, in this episode, we're having that same kind of dynamic where they're all attacking him. Goku refuses to go into Super Saiyan Blue yet, and then Whis kind of explains to us that he's doing it purposefully to try to reserve stamina because obviously it's a big tournament and he doesn't want to burn all of his energy out so soon. So we're dealing with that. He's getting attacked by all the Wolf Trio to Dangerous guys. We see an interesting little technique. He covers himself in this white aura, which was kind of speculated that maybe it's a new transformation, but it's really just a barrier that he's putting on himself in order to prevent the poison from getting to him from, I always get it's lavender, basil, and I can't think of the other one, but anyway, the poison from one of the trio to Dangers. So that's what that is. Nothing revolutionary, but still pretty cool, because then he mentions that he and Gohan had kind of invented that technique to combat the trio dangers and the poison and things like that. So we kind of go back and forth with that. Goku's not necessarily doing great. Obviously he's just in base form versus 8 of these other characters, because as we find out, one of them is kind of bombed off and Frieza winds up with him, which I'll get into that a little bit later. But just dealing with all these other 8. And then we find out the trio to Dangers have this little attack formation where they form a triangle around someone and they just continually attack them back and forth, which kind of puts Goku in a really weird spot. Side note, the Elder Kai is sitting on the bench, is sitting there talking shit about every time they come up with a name. It's always Trio to Dangers Triangle, or Trio to Dangers Beam, and things like that. And Elder Kai is just sitting there talking shit about how their names are stupid. But anyway, so Goku's stuck in their little triangle thing, and eventually Vegeta kind of sees him off from a distance, is like, hey, I'm going to go over there, I'm going to help you. He comes over there, and then they kind of split them up. So we've got 4 with Vegeta and then 4 with Goku. Goku's got 2 of the trio to Dangers, and Vegeta's got the 1. We also see that Vegeta also puts up the barrier himself. I'm not quite sure if it's supposed to imply that he was listening in on those strategy meetings with Goku or what, but Goku does mention, hey, watch for the poison, and Vegeta's like, oh, I got this. So he puts up the same white aura barrier too, where so he can't get poisoned. So they're kind of going back and forth. We see all the different powers from the other Universe 9 characters. There's this one guy, he looks kind of like a dragon. He's got steel skin, so Goku can't hurt him. Then there's another dude that shoots icicles, which turns whatever it touches into absolute zero. So Vegeta kind of gets caught with that, and so they're kind of going back and forth. And it kind of looks like it has Goku and Vegeta on the ropes for a little while, actually. And then I guess the easiest thing to say is that the Trio of Dangerous characters kind of get cocky, and then Vegeta takes that opportunity to kind of start slugging him and everything like that, and then they kind of take over. Goku goes Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta goes Super Saiyan. I don't think he ends up going blue. I think he just goes regular Super Saiyan. And all in all, they end up like starts throwing people out of the ring, all of them but the Trio of Dangers, and then we've got Goku and Vegeta. Vegeta throws off a Final Flash and Goku a Kamehameha, and then they just knock off the remaining Trio of Dangers. And then we bomb off to where Frieza is. And obviously Frieza can't kill, so it's kind of a bummer for Frieza. So the next best thing for him is to literally start torturing these people. And he's got another member of Universe 9, some bat-looking thing. He's just sitting there shooting his little death beams like into his arms and his legs and everything like that, and just like torturing this dude all out, which ends up doing to a kind of funny scene, kind of a sadistic scene as well, where we see that character willingly go off the edge of the ring and eliminating himself so he could get away from Frieza. That's how bad Frieza was just messing with him instead of just straight up killing him. So, which ultimately leads to Universe 9 losing all of its members, and it kind of answers the question, what exactly is going to happen whenever that does happen? And so the Zenos are on their little iPad thing, and then they delete all the characters, and then everybody just disappears. All of Universe 9 is just gone. So it really answered that question. Are they going to wait till the end of the tournament or what? And no, it's instant. Like, it just happens. And then on that note, we get a really awkward scene where the Angel from Universe 9, and they make a very deliberate moment to cut to this, so we know it's intentional, but they cut to him and he's got a little smirk on his face as soon as his little group disappears. So a lot of speculation in what exactly is going into that. There's a lot of rumors floating around about maybe there's something going on with the Grand Priest, who is theoretically the father of all the angels. We know he's the father of Vados and Whis in particular, but potentially now all the angels, I mean, they all are pretty similar looking, so maybe something is going on there with that. But that's something I'll get into in a later video here, probably in the next couple days. But all in all, it was a pretty good episode. Not a lot in terms of character development, obviously. We didn't deal with any of the other Universe 7 characters with the exception of Frieza. It's mainly a Goku episode, Vegeta episode, but it's always fun to see them kind of tag team. There's a really cool scene where they're back-to-back going up against all these 8 characters, so that's really cool. Seeing all the other abilities of all the other characters from the other universes instead of just them being super like generic, just random fighters was kind of cool. Each one had their own little abilities and techniques and things that they could do to kind of bring to the team. So that was really cool, but obviously we just kind of see how OP Vegeta and Goku are just in their base, or even just regular Super Saiyan form, and they can kind of blow these guys out of the water. But anyway, guys, that is it. Let me know what y'all think about this episode. Let me know if y'all have any theories or anything like that going into what exactly is going on with these angels, the Smirk, the Grand Priest. Is there anything evil going on or anything like that? But let me know, and I will see y'all next time.